So, is Jared Goff the future of the Detroit Lions? I'm going to answer that question in the best way I can right now. And quite honestly, I don't really have an answer for you guys because I don't think we can determine that right now as we speak today. We don't know quite what the future holds for Jared Goff. Things could get really ugly for Jared Goff. Or maybe Jared Goff is motivated. He takes the trade to heart where the Rams decided to move on from him, and maybe it motivates him. Maybe it makes him a better quarterback. I don't know. But here's the thing. Jared Goff has a lot to overcome. Okay, the Detroit Lions wide receiver core is not very good. Okay, the defense sucks. The organization has a lot to prove. He's going to be playing for a brand new head coach, and I doubt Dan Campbell is anywhere close to as talented as a head coach compared to Sean McVay. I mean, Jared Goff has star wide receivers, good running backs, a great offensive line, a great defense. He'll have pretty much none of the above in Detroit. The offensive line is decent. The running backs are okay, but Detroit is a bottom 5 roster. I'm just going to put it that way. So Jared Goff has a lot to overcome. But Jared Goff is still only 26 years old. Still relatively young. And still right smack dead in the middle of the prime of his career. And several years ago, Jared Goff was playing at an MVP level and was the starting quarterback for the Rams in the Super Bowl. He had a great year that year. And he outplayed Drew Brees on the road in the Superdome in the playoffs. I know the Saints kind of got robbed by that terrible no call, that pass interference call that wasn't called. But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees on the road and got the Rams to a Super Bowl. Obviously didn't play well in the Super Bowl, but you can win games with Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not a scrub. He's not a scrub. He's a solid, capable franchise quarterback, in my opinion. Is he a top-of-the-flight franchise quarterback? No, but if Jared Goff is your franchise quarterback right now, all I'm going to say is you could do a whole lot worse. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, and a lot of people think that the Lions are going to draft a quarterback this upcoming year in the draft after the season, and maybe that's true because the Lions will probably be more than likely in a position in the top 5 or in the top 10 to draft a quarterback, but the reports coming out of Detroit are that the Lions don't necessarily view Jared Goff as a stop bridge quarterback. Obviously, the options are open to potentially upgrade to a Spencer Rattler or a Keaton Slovis or Malik Willis down the road. But the Lions actually have shown, well, they've came out and said, we believe in Jared Goff. They put their arms around Jared Goff. Okay? And here's the thing. I'm a fan of being great. So let's just say we're in a situation where the Lions have the first overall pick in the draft. And let's just say Spencer Rattler is the number 1 quarterback. Because I think he probably will be. Okay, Spencer Rattler is really talented. I would choose Spencer Rattler over Jared Goff because there's much more upside. But is that what the Lions are thinking? Because here's the thing. There's something to be said from moving on from good and transitioning to great. We've seen that with the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex Smith was good, but they said, we want to be great with Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs want a Super Bowl. The 49ers are trying to do the same thing. They said Jimmy Garoppolo's good, but we think Trey Lance has a chance to become great. That's why they traded up for Trey Lance, okay? So the Lions could go that route and maybe it pays off. Or the Lions could say, you know what? Maybe we're okay with having a top 15 or a top 20-ish quarterback. We're okay with that. Because you want to know why? Because we're going to put a great roster around that guy. We're not going to be super quarterback dependent. We're going to put star wide receivers, a great defense, a great offensive line around Jared Goff. We're going to wrap our arms around Jared Goff and play to his strengths and hope in the playoffs we get a couple of breaks to go our way if we make the playoffs eventually. So the Lions will have to make a decision. Is Jared Goff worth gambling on for the future? Or are they going to bring in a young quarterback eventually? So that's how I feel. Look, and by the way, to defend my point about building around Jared Goff and having the 15th or 20th best quarterback, well, the 15th or 20th best quarterback has had some success in the NFL over the past couple of years. Jared Goff just recently got to a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo recently just got to a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl on a great Eagles roster. Peyton Manning was horrible his final season. But the Broncos roster was so good, they still were able to win despite Peyton Manning's limitations. So it all comes down to where the Lions are potentially as far as the organization goes, as far as their draft picks. And I don't know. It all comes down to if Jared Goff can win over the Lions organization. If he can, he is the future. But if he can't, well, he might be out of a starting quarterback job in Detroit. So that's how I feel about Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions and his future with the team. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.